Welcome back to our channel. You know old is gold, but these rare coins that are most valuable, what have I told you? That a single quarter, yes, that small piece of metal you might have spent on a gumball or left forgotten in your car's ashtray, could actually be worth more than a brand new car or even a house. What if I told you that one of the most common coins in American history hides one of the most shocking, mysterious, and valuable secrets ever to come out of the U.S. Mint? This is the story of a 1976 Bicentennial Quarter, a coin that was never supposed to be rare, yet somehow became one of the most talked about coins in American history. Welcome to U.S. Old Coins, the channel where forgotten pieces of U.S. history come alive again, where we dig into the legends, the errors, the mysteries, and the million-dollar surprises hiding right inside your pocket change. Now, let's go back to the year 1976. America was celebrating its 200th birthday, the Bicentennial. Flags were waving from every porch. Parades rolled down main streets. Fireworks painted the night sky red, white, and blue. It was a moment of unity, pride, and nostalgia. And to mark this massive milestone, the United States Mint decided to do something truly historic. For the first time ever, they redesigned circulating coins, the quarter, half dollar, and dollar, with special commemorative designs celebrating the nation's birth. The quarter was the most iconic. Instead of the usual eagle on the reverse, this coin showed a colonial drummer, a young patriot symbolizing freedom, designed by Jack L. AHR. Beneath him, two dates, 1776 to 1976. Every American wanted one, and millions were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. So how could a coin made in the hundreds of millions possibly become rare or valuable? Here's where things get shocking. Most people think all 1976 quarters are the same, but that's not true, because in that incredible year, the U.S. Mint accidentally and mysteriously released a few coins that were unlike any others. Some were struck on silver planchets intended only for special collector sets, yet somehow, a few slipped into regular circulation. Others were double die errors, where the dates, drums, and even the Liberty appeared doubled under magnification. And then there were the off-center strikes, the no mint mark proofs, and a handful believed to be struck on experimental metal compositions, blanks never meant for public release. Each one of these errors tells a story, a moment in time when perfection slipped and history took an unexpected turn. Collectors started to whisper about them. Stories began to circulate. A man who found one in a vending machine and sold it for thousands. A woman in Arizona who spotted a strange silver-looking quarter in her change and, after years, learned it was a bicentennial error worth over $18,000. And then, the rumor that changed everything. A single 1976 Bicentennial Quarter reportedly sold at auction for over $350,000. Some call it myth. Others call it miracle. But one thing is certain. When you hold this coin under the light, with the drummer boy gleaming back at you, you can feel the weight of 2 centuries of American history in your hand. Now imagine this. A country celebrating freedom. A mint working overtime to meet demand. Billions of coins flying off the presses. And yet, out of all those, a handful emerge flawed, different, and destined to become legends. Under a microscope, you can see faint doubling in the words "In God We Trust." Some silver versions show a subtle gray-blue tone that no copper-nickel coin has. And some quarters from the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, were struck in 40% silver, but a few uncirculated examples, still shining like mirrors, have reportedly fetched 5 figures among collectors. And then, there's the one that shocked everyone. A rumored prototype, believed to have been an early test strike using a composition mint for a never-issued coin. It surfaced quietly in a private collection, authenticated by a top grading service, and, as the whispers go, was reportedly valued near $1 million. Could it be real? No one truly knows. But the story alone made the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history. Think about it. This isn't just a piece of metal. It's a celebration of 200 years of struggle, unity, and progress. It's a piece of a nation's birthday, and yet, for a lucky few, it turned into a life-changing discovery. Every mark, every shine, every scratch on that quarter tells a story. Some have been in jars for decades. Others passed through the hands of veterans, teachers, children, and dreamers. And who knows, maybe one of them is sitting quietly in your house right now, waiting to change your life. Because here's the truth. Most people ignore their change. But the ones who look closely, they're the ones who find treasure. Imagine finding one. You pull an old quarter from a drawer. The drummer boy catches the light just right. You flip it over. You notice something odd, maybe the color, maybe the strike, maybe it just feels different. You check online and realize that the coin you've had for years could be worth thousands. It's happened before, and it can happen again. Here's the crazy part. Even today, coin dealers across America are still on the hunt for high-grade bicentennial quarters, especially those graded MS-67 or higher. One of those perfect condition coins with razor-sharp details and untouched luster has been reported to sell for over $20,000. And rare varieties with striking errors, they could go even higher. The value depends on one thing: perfection and rarity. Because out of hundreds of millions made, only a few survived in flawless condition. That's what makes collecting so powerful. Not just the money, but the mystery. Some people say the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter is just a coin. But for others, it's a symbol. A symbol of America's journey from revolution to modern power. A symbol of how something ordinary can become extraordinary when history, luck, and time collide. And maybe that's what makes it so beautiful. So the next time you open that old jar of change, take a closer look. Because somewhere, mixed among the ordinary quarters of everyday life, could be a piece of American history, a coin that reminds us that great things often hide in plain sight. And who knows, the next person to find a rare 1976 Bicentennial Quarter might just be you. If you love stories like this, the secrets, the mysteries, the treasures waiting in American coins, make sure to subscribe to US Old Coins. Turn on notifications and join us as we uncover more hidden fortunes buried in everyday change. Because here, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth more than gold. History. A coin that reminds us that great things often hide in plain sight. And who knows, the next person to find a rare 1976 Bicentennial Quarter might just be you. If you love stories like this, the secrets, the mysteries, the treasures waiting in American coins, make sure to subscribe to US Old Coins. Turn on notifications and join us as we uncover more hidden fortunes buried in everyday change. Because here, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth more than gold.